Hello, loves, and welcome to day 7 of the 12 Sweets of Christmas. We are going to be making some homemade turtles today, and I'm talking about these kind of turtles. These are going to be known as disaster turtles because they do not turn out today. These turtles are, I wish you could hear it. Well, they're hard. They're hard and they're falling apart, and they're just they're not edible. Well, neither is this guy. I want to introduce you guys to Basil. This is my little turtle Basil, and he is a small Tunisian turtle, Tunisian tortoise, and he is a new addition to our family by about a year. We got him last Christmas, and he is such a sweetie. We woke him up, so he's a little groggy right now, but he is the cutest addition to our family. The cats absolutely love him. So, but we're not going to be making these kind of turtles today. We're going to be making the other kind of turtles. So stay tuned and join me on this big turtle adventure. Hello, loves, and welcome to the Hares and Daffodils Homestead Kitchen. My name is Kate. If you're new to the channel, I want to welcome you into my kitchen today. Today we are working on a recipe that is brand new to me, and it is a two-part recipe. We are first going to be, well, what we're making today are homemade turtles. Pecans, caramel, chocolate on top. Absolutely fantastic. I think we all know them as turtles or pixies or whatever nicknames they have for them, but I'm calling them turtles for the point of today. But this recipe has us create our very own caramel sauce instead of getting those hard caramels and melting them down. Nah, we're not doing any of that, folks. We're going to go big and go home while we're at home. So we're going to make our own soft caramel sauce to go on our turtles, completely homemade. Stick around. This is going to be absolutely delicious, folks. All right, we've got our wonderful 3-quart saucepan here, and to it we're going to add in our heavy cream, brown sugar, butter, light corn syrup, and salt, and then we're going to get that melting over on the stove top. So let's go ahead and add everything to here. We need 2 cups of brown sugar packed. I hope this video is finding you guys all safe, happy, and healthy so far this Christmas season, this holiday season. I know we were attempting to go out shopping a little bit earlier today, and town was crazy, absolutely crazy. Restaurants were packed. The mall was packed. We just drove by it. There wasn't hardly any parking out there, and it just seemed like the community is thriving right now, which is what it needs. So, all right, we've got 2 cups of brown sugar. Get that set aside here. 2 cups of brown sugar, 1 cup and 3/4 of heavy cream. I just took the cap off of this. Do you guys have much shopping left to do? Or are you almost done? I think after being in town today, I think we are almost done ourselves. Got a couple more things to pick up. That's 1.5 cups. And now we're going to add in 1/4 cup. So that makes our 1 3/4 cup. I'm going to get this back in the fridge so it doesn't sit out on the counter. We need 3/4 cup light corn syrup. I hope if anyone has any traveling to do for the holidays that everyone stays safe, and at least I've never flown during the holidays. I think that would be absolutely crazy, but sometimes it's needed. 3/4 cup light corn syrup. Okay, there's that. Already got my butter out here slightly melted. I think I actually melted it just a smidgen, but that'll be okay. That's a-okay too. Alrighty, and then we've got our heavy cream, light brown sugar, light corn syrup, butter. Now we need a half a teaspoon of salt. I need to get a salt cellar for myself so that I'm not always pouring out of the container here. Maybe Santa will bring me one this year. I've been good. I don't know if I have been or not, but I think I've been good. Alrighty. You want to join me over on the stove? We're going to go ahead and get this melted. Okay, loves. Thank you for joining me over here at the stove. We've got everything going on a medium heat right now. We're just going to keep stirring right now until everything is incorporated and that butter is melted. Hopefully we can hear when that brown sugar is also dissolved as well. The recipe did say that this, as it continues to melt, and I quote, this caramel sauce is going to look rather dull looking. So this will be my second or third caramel that I've ever made in my life, and they've all been for this series. So I don't know what a dull looking caramel looks like. It's not going to be shiny, maybe that's it, but I don't know. Over here on the side, if you can see it, I've got my little pastry brush with a little bowl of water so we can mop down our sides when we need to. And then I also have my ThermPro candy thermometer set aside, ready and waiting, because we're going to need to bring this recipe up to 235 degrees as soon as it starts to boil. And then while it's boiling, we'll continue to brush it down with the pastry brush and water. But we're going to get it up to 235, which is softball stage. And then we're going to start stirring lightly once about every minute. The caramel at that stage will begin to thicken, which is exactly what we want. We are then going to push the caramel up to 250 degrees Fahrenheit, which is a hard ball stage. And then we're going to remove that from the heat and stir in the vanilla extract. We're going to let it sit for about 10 or 15 minutes. And then we're going to go ahead and pour it. I'm going to pour it into a nice Pyrex container, just so that I've got a wide opening. I was thinking about pouring it into, I've got a large liquid measuring cup, so that I've got a wide opening to work with. So we're just going to keep watch on this and wait till it boils. And as soon as it reaches 235, I'll bring you guys back and we will watch it creep up to 250. And we will make sure that this is one of the best caramel sauces that we're making together. So see you guys back here in just a sec. Alrighty, loves, we are slowly creeping up. We're holding steady right now at 232. And I'm just going to turn up the heat just a little bit, just not even a fraction of a turn. See if we can get up to 235. And then we're going to go back to stirring this just once a minute. And then we got to push this all the way up to 250 degrees. My candy thermometer here says between 245 and 250 degrees. That is a firm ball stage. So my recipe book says that 250 is a hard ball stage. So I'm not sure. I need to do some hardcore investigating as to the levels of temperature gauges and what they're truly called, or does each author have their own nicknames for what each of the stages are. is there anything of uniformity that we can rely upon? Because I don't want to say to somebody, take it to a hard crack stage when in fact it's just a firm wall stage. And so I'm just, please know that if I ever say anything inadvertently that is incorrect, I am reading off of the recipe card or the book that I've got, and if I call it by the wrong thing, that I'm not doing that intentionally by any means. We just hit 238.5, fantastic. But I would rather go off of my candy thermometer and what that says for what stages there are, than to rely on what an author says that may or may not contradict another author. So just always bear with me, folks. I've been a long time baker, long time cook in the kitchen. I am no means a professional. I never proclaimed to be. I am just a novice baker, a novice cook, who always has something, who always is willing to learn something in the kitchen. So it's one thing that hopefully you will come to love about my channel. And if you don't mind liking and subscribing to this video, I'm trying to get up to at least 100 subscribers by the end of January. I'm trying to push for that, just as a personal goal, since my channel is new. So if you wouldn't mind sharing some of my videos too, I would greatly appreciate it. We've only got about 5 or 6 more degrees that we need to hit, and then we can pull this off the stove, add in our vanilla, and then we can pour it into our Pyrex container. Do you guys have one of these for your brown sugar, the brown sugar discs that you put into your brown sugar container, and it helps to keep your brown sugar soft and moist and pliable and everything like that? This is the second time I've soaked it, because my brown sugar had some pretty hard clumps in it. But I had the hardest times finding one. Alrighty, love. Are we already at 250? We're above 250. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. Let's go ahead and turn this off. Get this off the stove. Alrighty. Alrighty, loves. I'm just giving this a quick stir before we've got the tiniest bit of scorching at the very bottom of our pan. So I'm praying to the caramel gods that this caramel is still useful. Pour in our vanilla. That's the last of our vanilla. Give this a good stir. Oh, that doesn't smell even more delightful. Ooh, just fogged up my glasses. I wasn't watching the caramel, and that's what happened, folks. That's my fault entirely. So if we need to redo this, that is on me entirely. Thank goodness we have extra heavy whipping cream and corn syrup and all that fun stuff. So I don't want this caramel to be burnt by any means. Look how absolutely wonderful and fluid that is. It is absolutely beautiful. And that color, that nice deep caramel color, oh my gosh, looks and smells wonderful. I wish you guys were here in the kitchen with me. My goodness gracious. Alrighty. Whoops. I'm going to go ahead and let my other half pour that in, because I've got problems with my wrist, and I just tried to lift that up with my left wrist, and it's going to, oops, there's the spatula, and it's going to tweak my left wrist, and then I will end up dropping that pan, which I wholeheartedly do not want to do. And looks like she just burnt herself with some caramel. So other things, what not to do. How is the bottom of that pan? Is it scorched at all? Looks good? Okay, good. Good, good, good. We want that to look good. And remember, this is the first part of 2 because we needed our caramel in order to make our turtles. So we're going to let this set up for about 10 or 15 minutes. Let it cool down as best as we can while still being pliable. So, alrighty, we're going to let this sit for 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll be back, hopefully holding some pecans, and we can get those laid out on the table here, and then we can get the first part of our turtles made up. So I will see you guys soon. Hello, loves, and welcome back. It hasn't been 10 or 15 minutes. It's been probably less than 5 minutes, and my caramel is hardening up rather fast. So I'm not sure if in that split millisecond that it went from 255 or went from 248 to 255 super quick, that I accidentally took the caramel over into a different stage of caramel making. But I'm just trying to get these turtles carameled up as best as I can right now. So what I went ahead and did is I laid out 4 pieces of pecans, 4 pecan halves or quarters, pecan halves, and just trying to use 2 spoons and work off of each other here and layer everything with a nice heavy dollop of caramel in between everything. So I don't know how these are going to taste. I don't know how these are going to have a mouthfeel of. I have no idea. Like I said, this recipe is brand new to us, and the caramel is still really warm, very pliable. But it did start to set up. I stuck a knife in here to kind of give it a bit of a stir, and my knife stood up straight. So I'm trying, folks. I really am trying. I want to make some really good candy this winter and have people enjoy it and look forward to it. And I want to be able to say, hey, I made this. So, but the one thing I got to say is don't touch the caramel. Hot caramel coming through. So it's a-okay so far. Have you guys ever made homemade turtles? Did you have any problems with the caramel or anything of that nature? Comment down below and let me know if I'm struggling due to my own hiccups right now, or is this a normal stage of the turtle making process, or just what I need to know what I'm doing wrong or right, so I can, if I do this again, need to itch my face. I know what I've messed up on and what I can correct. Let's see here. I hope these are looking okay. I just hope these set up okay. I'll get some more pecans laid out here in just a minute. I'm pleasantly surprised on how fluid the caramel is as I keep stirring it, I was really, really, really worried that that the caramel was gonna set up and be unable to be moved. Let's get some more. I'm trying to pick out the pieces of pecans that are whole and aren't too chipped or too damaged. I may be new to this, but darn it, I want it to have a good end result. Let's just keep going. I'm glad I chose parchment paper over doing this with aluminum foil, because I'm scared that it would pull up with aluminum foil or pull up the aluminum foil itself. I didn't want that to happen and tell everyone that, you know, don't mind the metal. Don't mind the metal wrapping. This seems like this would be a good, like making a gingerbread house. This seems like this would make for a good tag team. Recipe in the kitchen. If you're working with someone, if you can get a bunch of your girlfriends or guys or aunts, uncles, grandparents. I'd be hesitant to have kids work on this just because of the hot melting stage to which we had to bring our caramel to. But this sure does seem like this would be a good recipe for family to enjoy making together. Hello, loves, and welcome back. We were able to get about 36, I think, turtles made up before our caramel became, it was like the dregs of the bowl that we were scraping. So not too bad. We ended up taking all the broken bits of pecans and everything and just putting them in a small mini jelly roll pan and putting the excess, the leftover caramel on top of it. And then we're just going to use a knife and just make it into some bars, see if that works tomorrow. But the caramel does not taste burnt, so we really scraped by the bottom of our pan on that one. So huzzah, huzzah, huzzah. So we're going to wait about another hour before these harden completely, and then we're going to come back and we're going to put some milk chocolate dollops on top of these. We're not going to completely enrobe them or encase them in chocolate. We're not going to dip them 360, the whole 9 yards. We're not going to do that because the recipe does not call for that. It just calls for a dollop of chocolate to be placed on top of the caramel and then presented as that. So, you know me and following recipes, I like to follow them to a T, unless I've made them before, and then little tweaks get hidden in there. But yeah, so we're going to let everything sit and cool down and harden and set. And I will have you guys join me back in when we throw the milk chocolate on the stove and get that tempered up. And I've got to clean out a couple pans to make that happen. So see you back here in about an hour, which for you will be about 2 seconds. See you then, loves. Hello, loves. I need to be honest with you guys. These turtles didn't work out. Either the recipe is wrong or that split second that it went up to 255 degrees for seconds. It wasn't even 5 seconds that it was up to 255 degrees. Push this caramel to a hard ball stage, a hard crack stage. These turtles are almost inedible. So I am going to be transparent with those of my family that I'm going to still give these to my family because they like to suck on hard candies and things like that, and they'll still munch on the turtles for what they are in the state that they are, because I don't want to throw them away. I mean, it's still a hard candy, but now it's kind of like the butter rum hard candies consistency. It's not a hard crack like that. There is still a little bit of pliability to the caramel, but not to a nice soft turtle caramel that you want. If I were to make these again, and I will make these again here at some point, probably not by December 31st. Who knows? I may throw in an extra video and try to redeem myself for all this, but I would not take this caramel past 240 degrees. I think taking it up to 250 degrees was a mistake. I think the recipe the way it was written to take it up to 250 degrees, I feel was incorrect. So if you do end up making this recipe, please try it out. It yields some great turtles. We are not going to put chocolate on top of these because I'm not going to invest any more of our Christmas resources into this, especially with them not turning out 100% as is. I'm not going to add to them right now. But if you do decide to make these, and I do hope you do, because I want to remake them as well, I am not going to push the caramel past 240 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to keep it in that soft ball stage, soft crack stage, and hopefully that 10 degrees will allow it to be more pliable and have some pull to it and still have some softness to it. I'm still going to release this video, even though it is an utter failure. To me, it's an utter failure. But I wanted to share this with you guys that, good or bad, mistakes happen in the kitchen. And even though a mistake happened in the kitchen, I'm still going to share it. I'm still going to voice what I'm going to do differently the next time. What if I were to remake these again right now? I don't have any more pecans, so I can't give it another go right now. I see the value in this recipe. I see the yumminess in this recipe. So I will, like I said, I will remake it at some point. Maybe for Valentine's Day. Maybe I'll give it a go for Valentine's Day and try to make some cute little turtles for Valentine's Day and go that route. But like I said, I did want to be upfront and forthright with you guys and showed you what didn't work. And it's okay. There's a couple dollars in here that are not wasted, but I wish this would have turned out differently, especially for those that I'm going to give this to, for myself, for you guys. I want to show you guys successes, not failures, but failures happen. And that is the truth of the matter. So especially in my kitchen, good or bad, this is a working kitchen. And like I told you guys, I'm not a professional. And if I mess something up, I mess it up. I took the caramel up to 255 degrees, and that may have been the mistake for those few seconds. I don't know. But darn it, I'm gonna redo it for Valentine's Day. And I'm gonna make myself a promise to do that. So, and hold me to that, guys. Hold me to that. Like I said earlier, if you don't mind subscribing and liking this video, it really would mean a lot to me. I'm trying to get up to 100 subscribers by the end of January. I want to prove to myself that I can do this, and that you guys are along for the journey. And I really want to start getting into more recipes, more crock pot recipes, dinner recipes. As soon as the 12 sweets of Christmas are over with, I want to be able to get into more savory applications and share those recipes with you guys. So I've got so many cookbooks. My spouse would tell you that my office is a cookbook haven right now. So, but yeah, hugs and loves from my kitchen to yours. good or bad, we're here for the journey. Huzzah, we made it through, and we're going to learn from our mistakes. So hugs and loves, and I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll see you for the next video. Bye-bye.